Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I finally wanted to get around to making a video basically explaining my whole move to Brisbane, which is happening on Thursday, probably while you're watching this. It is currently Monday and I'm feeling all of the feels, let me tell you that. I have been getting a lot of questions from a lot of people both online and in real life about why I'm moving, what's going to be happening, and so I thought I would just address it all in one video so I can refer back to this. I did put out a little questionnaire on my Instagram to see if there was anything that people wanted me to cover specifically. Some of you may know, especially if you have been subscribed for a little while or you've watched previous videos of mine, that I was living in the UK from the end of 2017 until about March this year in 2019. It feels like a whole lifetime ago that I filmed the video announcing that I was going to the UK. I have some really big news. I'm moving to England. And then I announced that I was moving back to Australia. So this is awkward for like so many reasons. I'm moving back to Australia, which is going to come as a shock to many of you, including myself. And now I'm announcing that I'm moving to Brisbane. I do live a little bit of a free spirit life. I quite like it this way. It gives me a thrill. Don't get me wrong, the change always sort of trips me up a little bit and I do get a little bit nervous, but I'm looking forward to a new adventure, to making some new friends, just to a different environment. I have always known that Adelaide was not the place for me ever since I was probably about 5 years old. I definitely felt that moving to the UK was the right thing at the time. Unfortunately, moving to London at the end of last year, that meant that my mental and physical health started to really decline and I was in a bit of a sticky situation, which you'll know if you followed me through that time. But ever since I've been back in Adelaide, I haven't felt like myself. I haven't felt like the version of me that I want to be. I feel very stuck when I'm here. It's a small town and people don't do much here, and I've got this weird thing that I love living where people love to come on holiday. So I lived in Brighton, right opposite the sea. People would come on holidays, tourists would be there, and then I lived in London, again a big tourist place, and now I'm moving to sort of central Brisbane, which again is a really beautiful tourist place because I love being able to have days off and just adventure and explore, and that's not something you can really do in Adelaide. I'm gonna get right onto the questions because there were quite a few, so I will cover those. Let's go. Taken a little screenshot of all of the questions that have been asked. A new friend of mine, and she is a fellow YouTuber as well, Drop Dead Carly, and that is her Instagram and her YouTube name. You should definitely check out her videos because I really like her stuff. It's kind of similar to mine as well, so if you like my kind of content, you'll like her kind of content. She said, will you come back and visit Adelaide often? Now this is a whole new experience for me. I moved to the UK with no intention of ever coming back to Australia. Now the thought that I can actually come back and visit my parents fairly often is new and quite exciting, to be honest with you. I'm used to being on the other side of the world. I'm used to extremes here. I don't think I'll come back to Adelaide all that often because I just don't really feel the need to be totally honest with you. I have my parents here, which I'm close to, and then I have my dad's side of the family here as well, which I'm not that close to. I don't really see them that often. I probably won't come back here for Christmas, and that's something I want to speak about in a separate video because I've got a few plans for Christmas. I don't like Christmas when I'm in Australia, especially after having British Christmases. It just doesn't compare. Basically what I'm just going to do is get notifications or something from cheap flights or any sort of airline website, and when I see a good deal, I'm just going to book it and just come hang out for the weekend. That's my plan. I'm not going to put a figure on it because I don't even know what my life is going to be like over there, but maybe every 4 to 5 months. It could be a bit more, it could be a bit less. At this stage, I'm not too sure. My good friend Evie, I love her so much. So she lives in the UK, but we video chat like every single day. The love I have for this girl, I can't even describe to you. She has a really good blog as well. I might leave her blog in the link below. I think it's called What Evie Did. It's just aesthetic. Her bedroom right now is my goal bedroom for the room that I'm going into, so it's gonna be based off of that. And she said, will you still have a swing you can swing on to make me feel seasick? And anyone knows this, I'm always going on swings. I have a weird thing about it. I think we should incorporate play and fun into our everyday life. I always video chat her when I'm sitting on the swing in the mornings, and I've also done Instagram stories on a swing. I'm really hoping so because basically my house is like, this is a map. My house is here and then there's parklands all here. So there's a cemetery, great. And then a 20-minute walkway, there's like a Japanese garden and there's some botanical gardens. Figure amongst that, there should be a playground, and so I can still have my swings because that's a very important part of my life. It's where I have my reflection time. It's where I feel happy. She also asked, have you got your eye on any fun places to explore, Amy style? Now I love that she says Amy style because we know that I do things a little bit differently around. I don't go to clubs or bars or fancy restaurants or anything like that. I do some really random stuff. I've got some normal things planned. Definitely spend a lot of time at South Bank, which is kind of a touristy location. There is like a man-made kind of little beach. There's a heat cheaper cafes. You can hire scooters, so I've done that before. You like hire a scooter around. It's such a good time. You can hire a bike if you like. And then a little bit further down they've got Kangaroo Point, where they've got some cliffs. I don't know if this will ever happen, but I kind of want to get into climbing, like rock climbing. I like indoor climbing, so I definitely want to be doing that. They do have beginner tracks, or whatever you would call it, on the Kangaroo Point cliffs. It is in the back of my mind to do that. I also really want to get more into kayaking. I don't know if that's feasible. I really need to look into it. Do some aerial yoga. I've got a few places lined up. I haven't got too much expectation or image like in my head of what I really want to do, because I'm the type of person that once I get there, I will go with the flow. It's just going to be such a new adventure. And watch this space. That's all I'm going to say, because I'll be filming a lot more, because I'll have a lot more of an interesting life. She also said, what are you most excited for and what are you most nervous for? So I'll answer those separately. I'm most excited for the friends that I have over there and being able to see them more often. I have a few friends over there that I absolutely adore, because they're the type of people that are really on my wavelength, and I don't really have that here, and I've never really had that here. I am excited for the house that I'm moving into. It is gorgeous and it's going to be with 3 other girls, which is a whole new ballpark for me. I'm used to living either at home with my parents or with my ex-boyfriend. We lived together for 2 years, or with like a mix of girls and boys. I've never lived with just girls, so it's going to be a whole new adventure for me, but I think it'll be really good. I am excited to decorate my bedroom for sure. I'm excited to have an ensuite. Oh my god. So obviously I house shared most of last year and then for a few months this year. The opportunity to have my own ensuite is so new to me and so wonderful. I'm excited for the weather. I'm excited to just eat acai bowls wherever and whenever possible. I'm most nervous for not being in a good state. If you've been watching my videos lately, you know that my mental health hasn't been in a great place. I am not doing that thing that people often do where I'm saying I will be happy when I move here, and then I'm putting that expectation that as soon as I get there my life will just be 10 times better. I'm not thinking like that at all. With depression, you could be in the best circumstances in the world and still feel depressed. I'm kind of nervous that I'll move over there and make all these great changes into my life and be surrounded by these good people and have a job but still feel deeply unhappy. It's hard for me to articulate what I mean. Like, I know what I mean inside my head, but it's hard for me to talk about. I'm scared that I'll still be stuck in my own head too much and I won't be able to enjoy. I've really lost the enjoyment factor in life over this year. I just want to know that I'm going over there and things will get better and I will get better and I'll feel better day to day. I'm nervous that won't happen, I think. That's going a bit deep. Someone asked, what am I doing for work? Okay, this is exciting. I do have a job lined up. It's at a place called Warrior the Centre in Tenerife, if you're familiar with Brisbane. Basically, they have their main warehouse gym up in Mackay, but then they've got their little baby in Brisbane. I'll sort of be taking the place over, to be honest with you, because the boss has to come down very often from Mackay to run the place, and it's not fair on her because she has a baby. She's going to come down when I'm there, teach me the ropes, then she's off back to Mackay. I need to learn more about the premise of the studios. It would be the size of sort of your typical F45 type studio, but it looks a little bit more like a CrossFit gym. The training style is a little bit more CrossFit, but more based around functional movement and bodyweight exercises. You slot in a half an hour time to come into the gym, and there is a chalkboard full of a few different workouts. There's like a workout of the week and then a few other ones. You do them in your own space, in your own time. You might come with a friend, you might decide to do it with someone else that's there. The trainers are always on deck to give you a hand, have a chat to you. It's not a PT session, but it's not a group fitness class. I think once I get the handle of it and once I know more what it's about, I will be able to tell you guys exactly the rundown. This time next week, it'll be my first shift, which is absolutely terrifying. Someone asked, I like this question, would you not recommend Adelaide as a place to live? Look, if you like a slower pace of life, then Adelaide is your place. Put it this way, a lot of the people that I went to school with, and I'm 24, they're in long-term relationships or they're even married, they have kids, they have a house, they have jobs. So if that's your type of thing, Adelaide's great. Every suburb has exactly what you would need. It has nice houses, it has a park, it has a supermarket. For someone like me, I need more. Like, I need more in my life. I live differently to the norm. I don't like a 9 till 5. I am happy to not be in a serious relationship. I have no intention of having children. I need somewhere where people are a lot more open-minded. You'll find that in a place like Adelaide, because it is a small town, people are fairly closed-minded. They stick to their own. So it's been really hard for me coming back because I haven't really been able to make any friends due to the fact that everyone sticks into their own circle. You're coming in as an outsider. People are kind of not receptive to that. We're a bit more backwards in our thinking here. I found, especially from the UK and especially in the fitness industry, more so still about, oh, muscles, oh, what do I look like, oh, aesthetics. Whereas in the UK, it's making a shift now to being a lot more about wellness. It's very quiet. Adelaide is the city that sleeps. Most young people are either coupled up and living their happy dream life, or they're going out on weekends and getting pissed and taking drugs and stuff. I don't want to, and I don't fit in either of those camps, so it's not the place for me, but like I said, it just depends on what you want. I'm moving to the UK. Can you talk about any tips you have? This is an interesting one. I'm going to assume that this girl is moving from Australia. I would say don't take any Vegemite with you. They sell it there pretty cheaply at Tesco. Take cherry ripe with you. They're good. I love those. I don't know why my first thought was food, of course. If you know where you're going to stay, make sure to do a lot of research to see what the area is like so you're not too like puzzled when you go there. It just really depends the type of person you are. I don't plan ahead when I move somewhere because I like the adventure of that when I actually do move there. But if you're a planner, you might want to check out, if you want to get a car, for instance, you have to make sure that the car has the MOT every single year. You need to make sure that the car that you're buying has recently had an MOT, otherwise someone can scam you. So little things like that, make sure to plan in advance. Have a little look at the cost of living over there. It's generally cheaper than in Australia, so that's a huge bonus. Then again, the wages are also lower. British people are very friendly, especially towards Australians. Again, I'm assuming you're Australian, so don't worry about that. You should be able to make friends pretty easily depending on what area you're in. See, I moved to Brighton and Hove, which is a little bit more like hoity-toity, and it was a little harder to make friends there. Go in with an open mind. Yeah, you're gonna feel nervous. Yeah, you're gonna feel homesick, and there are gonna be really difficult times, but for the most part, enjoy the ride. Like, how exciting. I'm excited for you personally. So if you have any like specific tips, just message me. I couldn't really cover too much then because I feel like there's almost too much I could cover. Why did you move back from London and why did it not work out? Wow, so I don't know how much I covered in a video back in the day. I'll have to go back and look. I moved to London at the end of last year on a whim due to a lot of reasons. I needed to get, I felt very stuck in the circumstance that I was in. And in retrospect, that was a mistake. Like, I should have stayed in Brighton. I loved Brighton, I still do. Can't see myself ever moving there again, but I absolutely did love it there and I felt very at home there, especially in Hove. But I had to get out of the situation that I was in, like work-wise. And so I moved to London and I didn't do my research. Going back to the previous point, do your research on the area you're staying in. I moved to East London and I didn't know this at the time, but East London is quite well known for being a very dangerous, not very safe area. It's very, very multicultural, and of course I love all cultures and I have nothing against any race. I'm like all love. It was quite dangerous from that aspect. In being a young blonde female, I was in a position where I was not safe and I wasn't taking the bus. I was cycling or walking to the tube station, which is about 15-minute cycle, half an hour walk away. Being always out in public was not great. I'm trying not to be offensive here because obviously I can't generalize. I need nature and I need wholesomeness. The streets were always littered, people were spitting, people were smoking, people were drinking, and then having to take the tube all the time wasn't good. It was very expensive to live in London, and the wages I was getting were so low in that I had to dip into my savings, and I came back to Australia with almost no money to my name, and that's not great considering all I had done for like a year and a half while I lived there was work. Then the people that I lived with, when I first signed up to move in with them, like it was fine. They were 30 years old, they were professionals, they knew each other, but I found that they all worked from home, so they were all constantly home. And as someone that has always needed their space, like an only child, I really struggled with that because I had this tiny little bedroom and the walls were very thin and all I had was this little room and I didn't even feel like that was my own space. It was horrible. They would often drink a lot, they would take a lot of drugs, they would smoke inside, just didn't really align with me, and they kept trying to sort of bring me into this like little family that they had, and that's nice and sweet, but we were different type of people and I'm very much my own person. I like to stick to my own independent way of living, and it didn't mesh. And then one day it was like Monday night and it was like 12 a.m. or something, and this roaring techno music started from the room above me where one of the housemates was. It turned out that he had taken MDMA that night and just decided to have a techno party in his room the whole night, knowing full well that I had to be up at 6 a.m. for work. Like, there was just a huge lack of respect and they were very loud all the time. Couldn't take it anymore. And one day I'm like, I have to leave. And so I booked a flight back to Australia for like 2 weeks after that decision. After 1 week, I just packed up all my stuff one day and I moved into a hotel, and I spent 4 or 5 nights in 2 different hotels just because I had to get out of where I was, because with me, once I know I need to leave somewhere, I need to leave somewhere, and I needed to get out. So I'm like, I'll just spend the extra money on staying in hotels. I don't care. I haven't looked back since. It was wild, and it has given me probably a lot of mental health problems that I'm now still trying to deal with. It was very traumatic, let me say that. It was extremely lonely and very scary at times. It was not a great period of my life. I lost a lot of weight. I wasn't eating properly. I wasn't myself at all. We have any flatmates in Brisbane? I did touch on this. Yes, there'll be 3 other girls. I'm wondering what they'll think of me doing the whole social media thing. I think they'll be quite open to it, judging from, you know, like how they are. They seem kind of like me, so we'll see how that goes. I'll still try to be filming around the house and stuff. Obviously, I don't think I'll get them in there unless they want to be in there, which is totally fine. They're all like around my age as well, all early 20s, I think. It'll be interesting. Please detail everything about why you moved back and why you're moving again. So I already kind of touched on why I moved back. I just needed to, I think, go home and get a foundation for a little while. Like, foundation is always the word that I come back to, because I wanted to just get back to feeling like myself again, which is ironic because I've spent greater part of this year in Adelaide still not feeling like myself. I needed to be around my family for a little bit. I had been extremely lonely and extremely isolated when I was in the UK for a long time. The craziest thing was when I first got back and I had a cold or something, and I messaged my mum and said, oh, could you pick me up some Panadol from the shops on your way home? That to me was revolutionary, because for a year and a half I had been living a life where I had to do everything off my own bat, which, you know, teaches you independence. It's a good thing. Everyone should have periods like that in their lifetime. The fact that there was someone else there to help me out, it was great. Like, it's been really nice, and I think that I will still have that in Brisbane, because like I said, I've already got friends there, and that's not even something I had when I moved to the UK. Like, I had friends in London, but because London is so big and vast, like, we never saw each other because we were just always busy. And then in Brighton, I don't feel like I really had any friends. And why am I moving again? I have outdone my time in Adelaide. I have outlived my stay, whatever the saying is, and I need a new adventure. I need warmth. I need more stable weather. I just need a new adventure. That's what it is. I need a new adventure. I need to be in a different environment, get out of my comfort zone a little bit, and just see where life takes me, because I like to do fun things like that, you know. Like, I don't get my thrills in life from roller coasters. I just move around a lot. I'm gonna wrap this up here because it's quite a long video, and I know that my sit down ones can be a little bit hard to get through. So if you made it to the end, congratulations. I hope you had a snack while you were watching this. I should have said that at the start, actually. If you do have any questions or anything that I haven't covered in this video, please do just leave a comment down below and I will answer them. Or if you want to, just message me on Instagram. If you want to stay private, whatever, that's totally fine. I'm excited to bring you guys along with me. Like I said, I think when this video goes up, it'll literally be my moving day, which is crazy. And of course, I will be vlogging the whole thing. I want it on record more than anything. I've been watching back all of my old moving vlogs and it's just crazy. It's all just crazy, and I can't wait to take you guys along with me. So if you're not subscribed, I would recommend that you subscribe so you can see what shenanigans I'm about to get up to. I will see you guys in my next video, which will be the moving vlog. Again, very exciting. Thank you for all your love and support, especially during this journey. I've had no one say, Amy, you idiot, stop moving around. Everyone's just been so lovely about it all. And I will see you guys in my next video. Mwah!